So I don't normally do this, but this thing was pretty disappointing. This is a 3D printer by XYZPRINTING. It's the Vinci Mini. There's the top to it. I got it all apart and I'll explain why in a second. But I get this thing, I don't know, a week ago, and hook it up to my MacBook, install the software, calibrated it, send a little cube print to it, printed out great. First, good resolution, everything. Sent another file to it, screwed up, jumped around, sent another one, screwed it up, jumped around again. Sometimes it wouldn't even send it to it. It was a nightmare. The Wi-Fi is a nightmare. USB is a nightmare. So anyhow, I battled it for about 2 days. And one time I sent the print to it, it started printing it, and it screwed up, and then I realized it was also leaking plastic from the nozzle. So I tore the extruder apart, and between the nozzle and like the heat diffuser metal piece, it was all loose from the assembly and was leaking. So I emailed XYZ and said they'd get back to me in like 3 days. On the 4th day, they didn't get back to me. And so I ripped it apart and I fixed it myself. Cleaned it up and assembled it correctly so now it won't come loose. The next day, they still didn't get back to me. And I thought, well, maybe it's because I'm running it on a MacBook. Maybe the software for Mac isn't as developed. So, I don't have a Windows machine, but I went and bought one. And so I got this thing off Amazon. Came last night. It's perfectly capable to run this thing, run the software. And I installed the software, calibrated it, the machine, sent to print, printed perfect. Little cube, good resolution. Sent another file, nope, skips. Sent another file, it just like completely wrapped the brim like a million times until I pushed the little button. And that little button right there is like the little power and like emergency stop. It doesn't work. Doesn't work at all. Software is so awful. And then also, just to let you know, there's a chip in these. You can only use their spools, and the spools are twice as expensive. There might be a way to get around that. I don't know if someone's figured it out yet, but anyhow, I thought if it worked, I would still buy their spools. I don't give a shit. Like, the software is so bad. The hardware, I mean, it's got the basic motors. There's some end stops there. The belts are normal. I could probably throw in a different extruder nozzle assembly right in there and put it right in. Anyhow, I ripped it apart because I've had it. And what I'm going to do now is I'm changing the connections to the motors and whatnot, and I'm gonna hook up a ramps board and Arduino deal and just be done with it, so I can use the freaking thing. I would suggest don't even bother with this company. Everything is so proprietary. You can't use anybody else's software, nobody else's filament, and if it worked, I don't give a shit. That'd be fine, but it does not work. I even bought a second computer just to make sure that it wasn't my MacBook. Anyhow, I'd stay away from every machine this company puts out. Thanks for watching.